Welcome to the BJ Show. Let's rock and roll. Rock and roll. Come on, everybody. Let's lose control. Brad and John, they're the ones to follow. Yeah, ready for the ride. It's the BJ Show. BJ Show.
It is the BJ Show. Today's date is July 28th, TGIM. Did I get that right, John?
You sure did. That's a Sam Walton gimmick, isn't it, Brad?
TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. Okay, John, I have to start off the show this morning with an absolute positive, incredibly heartfelt apology to you, first and foremost, and to our listeners.
For everything that you've said critical of Ameren over the last, 21 months? Is that what you're apologizing for, Brad?
No, John. Something really bad happened over the weekend. You read about this all the time, and I've got all these firewalls and stuff like that. Someone breached our firewall here at the radio station.
And what did they find, Brad?
Well, it's not what they found. What they did was they put in a bogus program into the system. And on I heard actually that Jake Crozen might mention this in the Whispering Gallery on Wednesday. I heard he might have an exclusive that we probably won't talk about until Wednesday. No, we're going to talk about it right now because of the fact.
What happened, Brad?
Someone breached our security system and put in a bogus program, something called the Farm Show, and they claimed it was you. They did like the AI thing where they AI'd your voice and the whole bit. And immediately I thought to myself, is this really John Combest? But
no, it's got to be AI, Brad. You would have told me about it.
But
if I was going to be part of some new show, you would have given me a heads up about it for sure.
Do you know how I knew it was bogus?
How'd you know that?
The fake John Combest was promoting a Facebook page, and I thought to myself, okay, that's it. There's no way in hell.
It can't be real. Brad, see, that is your human intelligence.
Right.
Superseding artificial intelligence, because I'm never going to join Facebook. I certainly wouldn't point people to a Facebook page.
Right, exactly. So I thought to myself, okay, I've been hacked because the real John Combest, the words Facebook would never come out of his mouth, and promoting to people to go to a Facebook page out of the John Combest mouth, that's like John saying, you know what? I love to go to the grocery store and watch those women in the obesity scooters.
That would I sure do.
I
like to go to a grocery store within the 270 corridor.
Right, or that'd
be even more likely. Now, what I heard, Brad, I heard the same thing, and I got a tip about this in the Whispering Gallery, in the future edition of the Whispering Gallery. I heard that you have a built-in security system that right in the middle of a fake show, you're going to have Mike McGee jump in with a promo.
Well, we had the EJCS system, the emergency John Combest system, intervene when our AI computers here, matter of fact, according to AI, paged me and says, Brad, there's a problem. That's not the real John Combest. He would not be talking about a Facebook page.
He would not be promoting Facebook.
Immediately, I hit the EJCS button, and bang, the show was gone.
I heard they snuck in Sunday at 8 a.m. and had a perfect presentation of this bogus Facebook promoting show.
It was, you know what? John, can I tell you something?
Please do.
Last week was an interesting week for me. I had some highs, and I had like one high. I had tremendous number of lows. And I have to be honest with you, last week has been a game changer for me.
Why is that?
I just quite honestly, bad stuff happened. A lot of bad stuff happened, and I'm going like, you know what? I'm going to reevaluate my life. I've got to reevaluate my next 10 years to the point where I hit the century mark, to where I hit 100, and think to myself, you know what? Maybe I need to do things differently. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But more importantly,
let's touch on that later, Brad. And you know what? We also, in the top three, which you're about to tease, we have a story. Josh Hawley probably has an opinion on what happened over the weekend.
I bet he does. Okay. And by the way, let's talk about the Michigan stabbing incident in the Walmart, because there's an interesting part of that nobody is talking about. Nobody's talking about.
Does it have to do with a good guy with a gun?
Exactly. I mean,
Boy, can I read your mind or what? That's Brad.
Okay, that is John Combest, Combest. He puts together this incredible website, puts together all these things you should know about in the state of Missouri. It's like the Drudge Report for the state of Missouri, from the good old days of the Drudge Report, not the crappy days of the current Drudge Report. But anyway, he puts together this list every single day. What we do is we start off the show with this dude right here.
I'm Casey Kasem.
He comes in and he counts down John's 3, and we start with...
In third place.
Brad, you're not the only person that had a challenging week last week. On Friday, we talked about a woman named Sonia Jenkins Gray. And on the upside, she had been appointed by Governor Mike Kehoe to be on the police board, by his brand new state commission, state police board, whatever you want to call it, to oversee the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Board. She announced last week that she was fixin' to, or as we say in Spanish Lake, she was finna start a brand new job with Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. And you'll recall from our show Friday, Brad, Governor Kehoe said, whoa, 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 that would be a conflict of interest. And if you want to take that job, that's cool, but good luck getting through the Senate. In other words, Governor Kehoe gave her an ultimatum. What was she supposed to do, Brad? Friday afternoon, she announced that after some reconsideration, she has decided to pass on that job with the sheriff's office, and instead not have any conflict of interest, stay on Governor Kehoe's board, and give up that human resources chief job. She sacrificed $95,000 to be on the police board. And Brad, to answer your question from last week, Post-Dispatch reporter Austin Hughley, in his piece on this controversy, pointed out that members of the police board are unpaid. Governor Kehoe has said that all the police board positions will be unpaid. So for now, Sonia Jenkins Gray is going to do the police board, gave up the $95,000. What's she going to do to put food on the table? Who knows? Maybe she could get some sort of consulting contract to do a little bit of work. So I guess the point is, Brad, we got two answers over the weekend. Sonia is not going to push the ultimatum, and also Kehoe's positions are unpaid.
So is she rich? Or, I mean, come on. I mean, John, most people, if you had two job opportunities and one of them paid zilch and the other one paid essentially almost $100K, which one would you take?
Well, here's the thing, Brad. And so let's just talk about city politics for a minute. Her husband is a guy named Daryl Gray, and he's a pastor. And I would assume, and this is a huge assumption here, Brad, he's very well connected in the political area. I'm guessing that he probably gets a little walking around activist money from civic types. Complete speculation. I don't have any idea what their family budget is. But I would guess that there's probably some folks who pay Mr. Gray for some political activism. You know what I mean? I don't know. My best assumption is late summer and fall, she's gonna find some sort of a consulting or lobbying contract where she can do something that doesn't give her a conflict of interest with her Kehoe position. And I bet you too, Brad, that part of this, if I'm her, I go to Kehoe with a mea culpa last week, and I'm like, hey, sorry, I really didn't think it was going to be a big conflict of interest. I'm going to give up this $95K. But does your team have any ideas of, maybe a place that could get me a little work? I would definitely go to Kehoe with that and say, can't somebody on your team help me out with something?
I'm going to go to Mike Kehoe today and say, Mike, I may have not said some flattering things about you on my radio show, but isn't there a way you can give me a little bit of money so I can do something so I can actually afford a new car? You think that would work for me,
I don't think
John?
that's going to happen because, he's buddies with Dave Schatz. And he's going to tell you that Dave Schatz is already building a trench for your body, Brad.
Dave Schatz.
But you know what? They wouldn't even need to dig a trench. They could just take you to the location in story number 2.
John, they're not. Well, see, interesting thing. Dave Schatz has already contacted me. He's not real happy about me, and he said, Brad, he says normally when we bury people, we dig a hole and we put them in. With you, we're going to horizontally bore you. That's what he said. Okay.
Oh, yikes.
Okay. Number two.
You know what's very funny though, Brad? Most of your high school girlfriends said that you horizontally bored them.
because what happened was I was so boring they went horizontal on me. That's what it was. Okay. Number two.
Up a notch to number 2.
This is going to be a great show today, Brad. Hey, headline from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Nitric acid spilled at Boeing plant. Crews work to keep it from. Brad, where would you not want to spill something toxic in North St. Louis County?
John, I'm glad you brought this up. Once again, Coldwater Creek is jinxed.
There's snake bit.
Yes, this happened right up the street from the Moon Suit place. You know what I'm talking about? Right there in McDonald Boulevard.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Right up the street.
Let me get to the heart of this real quick, and then we'll discuss it. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
So the piece says a hazardous chemical spilled from a tanker truck onto a parking lot outside a Boeing plant Friday morning, but only a small amount, if any, made its way in the nearby Coldwater Creek, officials said. Cody Strawman, boy, how many jokes do you think he got? I heard there's an old guy that likes to play Wizard of Oz clips. I wonder if he's friends with Cody Strawman. On-scene coordinator for the Missouri Department of Natural Resources said an estimated 500 gallons of the chemical, nitric acid, got out of the tanker before firefighters stopped the release. So, Brad, to make a long story short, in this parking lot, there's apparently a storm drain that feeds to a tributary that feeds to Coldwater Creek. It's not clear how much, if any, got into the creek, but the gentleman from DNR, Mr. Strawman, says it wasn't clear if the chemical got into the creek itself. Quote, I'm sure some got into the creek, he speculated. So they've done initial rounds of testing. There's nothing in there that indicates any kind of trouble. Yet, their warning is that they suggest that people do not spend any time waiting around Coldwater Creek. I thought that was the funniest part, Brad, because it's like, you probably shouldn't be waiting around Coldwater Creek at all.
John, I drive that area, at least I used to until they shut it down for the fake overpass, but I drive that area all the time, and when I read this article and it said it drains into a tributary of the Coldwater Creek, I beg to differ with that because I want to say that storm drain goes right into Coldwater Creek because if it's the building I think it is, it's like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet away from Coldwater Creek. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, maybe a tributary could just be like 6 feet, Brad.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that was embellishment of the story. Like, well, it didn't actually go into Coldwater Creek. It went into a tributary. That'd be like saying, well, when things go into Coldwater Creek, they don't ever go into the Missouri or the Mississippi River, even though that's where Coldwater Creek drains. It's like, okay, come on, just don't sugarcoat it anymore. I mean, North County. I mean, when you're lying about, do you think with all the stuff that's come out, do you think there's any, I mean, think about this for a minute. I can hear the 911 call right now. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I live near Coldwater Creek, and there's this lady lets her kids play in Coldwater Creek. Oh, we'll be right over. We'll throw her in jail for child endangerment. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't that
Who
be
would let that happen?
Right,
Brad?
who would do that? Okay, we ready for number one?
We sure are.
The number 1.
Brad, I'm not sure at the beginning of the show if that was you or if it was AI. Or to quote a wonderful woman named Shelley Barr, is it live or is it Memorex? Headline from my favorite reporter at St. Louis Public Radio. That's a 1 out of 1 pool from which to choose. Jason Rosenbaum. Hawley's bill would let people sue AI firms using their content without permission. Last week, you and I talked about Senator Hawley's position at an Axios forum that artificial intelligence was a threat to the working class. And I asked you to explain it to me a little bit, Brad, and we talked through the idea of, I still get confused of how exactly it's a threat to the working class. You point out, as Hawley does, and I think most people accept, that AI can replace a lot of human jobs, customer service jobs, things of that nature. Hawley's point here is that he's going after the tech companies and explaining the fact that a lot of this deep learning and machine learning that their technology does can take works from an artist, be it a musician, a novelist, a writer, whatever, recreate that type of knowledge and not compensate the people from which that material has been pulled. So in other words, if you are a novelist and Microsoft, let's say, or Google has extracted all of the text from your books and someone asked AI, hey, can you write something in the style, can you write a short horror story in the style of Brad Hildebrand? AI would be able to spit it out. And you, Brad, the author of those original books, have no way to be compensated. Now, Hawley has teamed up with a gentleman from Connecticut named Senator Richard Blumenthal, and it would authorize people to sue any person or company that, quote, appropriates, uses, sells, or exploits their personal data or copyrighted works to train AI models without clear consent. So Rosenbaum does a great job in this story. I read the whole thing of explaining the nuances of this. The best subhead from Rosenbaum reads, vibe shift needed. Jason's so funny with this stuff. So, Brad, I don't know. I mean, you have a lot more knowledge of AI songs and in AI and creative stuff than I do. What do you think of this?
It's pretty interesting, John. This is going back a couple months, and I was listening to NPR like I do very frequently, and I bash my head against the dashboard when I do it when I'm driving. But they had an interesting story on there. I think it was the guy from the RIAA, which is the Recording Industry Association or something of America or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like the working group for recording artists and stuff like that. And they gave a really interesting example of this. There's an artist by the name of Jason Deruuulllo. You familiar with Jason?
Jason Deruuuulllo.
Yes, and his trademark is he says his name in every song. Every song.
Jason Deruuulllo.
Someplace in the song, and normally it's in the beginning of the song where he says Jason Deruuulllo, and they gave an example. They said, okay, and he has a particular style of music, and they had AI create a song that would be similar to one of his songs. And in the beginning of the AI song, it goes, Jason Deruuulllo. So it's like sort of caught red-handed with that one. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
yeah, I do know what you
not
mean.
only did you copy the style, you copied exactly what he does, and he puts his name there. He sort of like watermarks the song, which, you know what? This is going to be a real interesting area. I use AI all the time. As a matter of fact, it's getting to the point where I have to be honest with you, John. There's probably not a day that doesn't go by that I don't use AI like 4 or 5 times a day. And I will give a perfect example. I won't say what I had to do, but there was a government compliance report that I have to do on a regular basis. Won't say what that's about. And normally it takes me 2-3 hours. I took all my notes and stuff like that, and I went to ChatGPT, and I go, hey, I need this report. Here's the format it's supposed to be in. Can you do this for me? And I fed it all the information. 2 minutes later, I've got the entire report done better than I could have ever done it myself.
Now, I don't mean to troll you here, Brad, but did you, because it was an important document, did you go back and at least scan it to make sure it made sense?
Well, of course not. I mean, John, you know me. Come on, you know me better than that.
Did you? But in real life, like jokes aside, you at least gave it a once over to make sure it made sense, right?
It was perfect, John. I
wow, that's awesome.
I mean, if I could have, if I would have said it to the Mr. or Mrs. Anal Proofreader, which is interesting because can I find that Scott Fawn quote? Can I find that Scott Fawn quote?
It's probably somewhere on your hard drive.
Let me see if I can
find. We know you don't have a laptop, but it's somewhere on your hard drive.
Let me find it real quick. All right, let me look at one more place if I can see it. Is the Scott Fawn right there? No, it's not right there. Hold on a minute. I gotta find it. It's the Scott Fawn. Is it right there?
Let's not forget you have a Scott Fawn anthem, a theme song as well.
Hold on, is this it?
Story times, chilling in the heat, Scott Fawn on the beat.
No, that's the Scott Fawn. That's the Scott Fawn rap. Okay, let me look one more place. Hold on a minute. I thought I had it. Is it up here? Is it right here?
You should use AI to search for it on your hard drive.
You know what? Did I tell you I got a compliment from a woman over the weekend? Did I tell you about this?
Oh wow! And when did you start volunteering at the Blind? Was it at St. Vincent's? There was a poor little old blind lady.
I got a
She said
compliment.
you smelled nice, and you're like, yeah, it's a brand new scent of mothball.
I got a compliment over the weekend that she said she listens to the show and she loves you. And she looked at me and she says, "And you, Brad?" And you know what she said, John?
Oh, what did she say? Was she wearing a pretty blue dress?
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
That's what she said.
I should have known that was not a true story when you said that a woman said something nice to you over the weekend, Brad.
In C Block, John, I will tell you a story of I had and my training did me well. I had a Karen attack over the weekend.
No, and when you say training, you mean handgun training.
No. There's a guy on the Patriot. The guy's name is Tom Grisham, and he's on, I think, from 2 to 5 on, 1049, the Patriot.
Yeah.
2 channels above us. Okay, and he's really good. The show's called Gun Talk. And it's not a real nerdy show. I mean, sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. And he always is preaching about the fact that you, even if you're a concealed carry holder, and even more so if you're a concealed carry person, you have to de-escalate things. You have to essentially de-escalate the situation. And I have to be honest with you, I did a great job with this. And the funny part of it is, the more I de-escalated it, the madder she got, which was sort of funny.
A lot of times people want you to match their anger level, Brad. Now, we won't say where you were, but it does rhyme with Modelville, and it involved a golf cart.
No. But what's interesting, you should mention that, because I thought to myself, I was in Cottleville. I had lunch in Cottleville yesterday, of all places. And as I'm trying to leave the parking lot, a guy comes flying in with a golf cart. It's one of those things like seat 6. It's got like 3 rows of 2. And I thought to myself, he went flying into the parking lot. I'm thinking to myself, okay, where's Ralph Nader when you need him? Is he still alive? I mean, here's the thing.
I think he bit the big one. Unsafe at any speed.
We have to have airbags in our cars. We have to have restraint system. We have to have this and that. How is it possible that people can ride around in the streets in a golf cart, with no seat belts? How is it possible? I mean, this is what's amazing to me. We've come so far with the safety of cars, and now it's like, yeah, you can ride around your golf cart, and yeah, you don't need seat belts, and no, you don't need turn signals. No, you don't need anything. If somebody falls out, we just go back and pick them up and throw them back in. What is going on with things? You know what I'm saying, John?
In his defense, Brad, he never expected someone on a Sunday to be sitting in the Chick-fil-A lot like you were.
I was not in the Chick-fil-A lot.
Of all days, a Sunday. He thought he could just do donuts there. And there's Brad Hildebrand with the same letter ... on his license plate.
Although you crossed my mind, because I sat there Chick-fil-A yesterday. I thought to myself, John raves about this place. This place sucks as service is concerned. I've been here for 5 minutes. Nobody's even talked to me yet. Okay, we have to take a break.